here with at CPAC Mexico with the president of Mis amigos migrantes, pues aquí estoy.
Total catastrophe, and it is a crisis.
Of a child, right there. All these NGOs, you're fake. It is this, the crisis of children.
Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. We are live in the limitations between the port of entry of San Ysidro to the United States of America and Tijuana. This is the Trump effect. You see the National Guard officials right here now doing an inspection point to decrease the level of trafficking of fentanyl into the United States of America. You will see a unit over there. You will see actual heavy artillery units over here on the Mexican National Guard. Also, they put a pathway right here, and they're picking them randomly. As you see right here, there is an individual who is being inspected. He's a U.S. citizen. His vehicle just got the inspection, and he's just going to step into the vehicle. You see also agents using the mirror to just check the bottom line of the vehicle. And you see also traffic as it's being directed by the Mexican National Guard. This is the Trump effect. Let's see one inspection point right here from one young lady to see how they're going to inspection her vehicle, see how the Mexican National Guard is going to do their job. Basically, they're asking her, where does she work? Where is she going? Is she a U.S. citizen or not? By the way of her license plate, it is. She's from California. And you see the Mexican National Guard official using the mirror, going little by little to particular inspections of the vehicle. You see actually also Mexican National Guard on that side. And also you will see also that they are picking them randomly. You see right here, another National Guard official that just picked that guy randomly. This is actually what is the reality of what is happening towards the agreement that it was done between Donald Trump and also the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo, that she Donald Trump told the Mexican president, we need to decrease the level of fentanyl into the United States of America and also decrease the illicit and illegal crossings of migrants into the United States. You see actually another checkpoint. There's two checkpoints right here, and that is the limit line of the United States of America. That is the San Ysidro port of entry. Also, you have another Mexican National Guard located right here. They are doing this randomly. This is a unit right here. You have another unit over there. So the Mexican National Guard with the Fiscal General of the Republic doing the job. By the way, it is raining, so we're trying to do the best that we can with the rain over here. It's raining, so we're trying to do the best that we can. The camera, hopefully, it will work as we trying to do our best to bring you guys what these young guys are doing right here. The National Guard doing their inspections. You see another National Guard border agent right here doing their job. Also agents over here doing more job. Basically doing what we have never seen this before. They used to do it back in 2005, 2006, when there was enormous cartel activity. Now, because of the threat of a tariff, now you are seeing that they're putting people to work, and it is the Mexican National Guard. More than 10,000 National Guard soldiers were deployed to the Mexican borders. The state of Baja California, where we are located, it is the state that has more National Guard officials, possibly between 2,500 and 2,600 National Guard officials were deployed to this state, and a lot of them that were deployed to the state of Chihuahua, particularly Juarez, also in Sonora and Sonoita, in places that there has been massive cartel activity. And now you see what is the circumstances, what is the situation. Somebody's asking really meticulous question. Where is the sniffing dogs? It was around here. I think that they took them to the other side. They are on that side. It's a big port of entry. It has more than almost 30 doors. So the sniffing dog, it is on the left side. And so this is the actual. No, what is this going to help? The whole responsibility of the illicit and illegal crossings of synthetic drugs was only, being handled by the United States Border and Customs agents. That they go all the way to the back. Now the customs agents, now they have a lot of support because the Mexican National Guard now it is doing a deterrent, and this is a huge deterrent that is happening right here before they are going to the United States port of entry. It's a huge deterrent now that you have, the National Guard of Mexico searching and researching, and also, seeing if there's vehicles that they are potentially trying to cross synthetic drugs into the United States. Not only synthetic drugs, but you have a lot. You have a lot of people that they are actually smuggling illegal aliens into the United States of America. So as you see, there's the National Guard. There's also having a dialogue right here with a resident of Tijuana, and they're putting an inspection point right here, and they're telling him that he has to go they're picking them randomly to go and do his inspection. As you see right here, this is a resident of Tijuana. And also you see heavy artillery, 2 vehicles with heavy artillery. Right now there's going to be inspection right here. You see another National Guard official, every National Guard official, trying to do their job. This is what they were appointed to do, to start decreasing, the level of fentanyl and the level of trafficking of fentanyl into the United States of America. Has it happened before? It happened back in 2006, 2007, 2008. It was a long time ago, but it was not like this persistent. We never have seen it like this, that they were so highly organized, basically really highly organized and really coordinated to see which vehicle they're picking and which vehicle they are not picking to go into different particular inspection points. You see many units of the National Guard. This is a surprise for me that we are seeing, that we are seeing many units of the National Guard, attending this particular port of entry. This is the most busiest port of entry, vehicle port of entry. Now, a lot of people are asking why the vehicle port of entry. It is because the vehicle ports of entry, it is where more trafficking happens. It is the vehicle ports of entry. It is where the most trafficking of fentanyl happens. And let me just put the camera right here, and let me just show you what these guys are going to do, just for you guys to see what these guys are going to do. I will flip the camera I cannot stay here that long. They let you a little bit over here to stay. So I'm just going to flip the camera and say hello to every single one of you before I move on and before we close this. Oh my God, where's the camera? Hold on, people. There we go. 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 How's everybody doing? Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. It's raining, and the National Guard officials are right here doing their job. I would like to say, for the first time as a Mexican, I would like to say that I feel extremely proud that our Mexican National Guard, it is doing the job, and it is trying to do the job to decrease the level of trafficking into the United States of America. We are working together. That is the way that we're supposed to be doing. We are united, trying to crack down this. It is a start. It is a start. It is a start. It's one step at a time, baby steps, and then we can take big steps at a time to eliminate and eradicate this problem for the better of the countries. Now, one of the things that I would like to say, and I am going to be honest about this, if it wasn't for Donald Trump, this initiative that Donald Trump took, this wouldn't be happening. So it is not only that Donald Trump, it is protecting the borders of the United States of America, but also it is protecting the border towns into into the border towns like Tijuana, let's per se, as an example. So this is clearly something that is a game changer. It is because of the threat of a tariff that it needs to happen. And I said multiple times, the threat of a tariff needed to happen whether they like it or not. And this is what I was referring to, that whether they like it or not, it was because of this, that we needed to push the Mexican politician to do something about it, hit them in the pocket so they can understand that this is not a joke, that this is a reality, that Mexico is having a humongous problem with controlling the cartels. You know, we cannot even have a control of what is happening in Culiacan, that there's a cartel war, in Michoacan and Guerrero, or all of the Mexican people that are being displaced by the cartel. And, you know, and it's just unbelievable the crisis that the Mexican people were living because of the organized crime and the cartel. And now we are seeing that the Mexican National Guardsmen are doing something about it, just steps away from the port of entry into the United States of America. This is not a lie. Right there, you see the San Ysidro port of entry. Let me just clean the screen right here. Somebody just tried to call me. I'm live. This is the San Ysidro port of entry. We're just steps away from the San Ysidro port of entry, and you see all the National Guard officials just doing their job, inspection in every vehicle. Behind me, you'll see that they're doing their job right there. Also, they're doing their job right there. Another vehicle, another pickup truck, I think it's a Tacoma. And you see heavy artillery vehicles with heavy artillery on the top. So this is it's not shocking for me, but it makes me feel proud that we are actually trying to do something, and that we are trying to do something, man. We're trying to do something to fix this problem. There is a problem. There is a problem. You know, stop talking about the, incompetent protests that are going on in the United States of America. This is the epicenter of the problem. This is where the war is happening with the organized crime in Mexico, where thousands and hundreds of thousands of Mexicans, of our patriots, they're being displaced of their land because the organized crime and the cartel, it is massively operating, and it is massively displacing people because they want to take away their land, and because a lot of these young kids are being recruited, forcing these young kids to be recruited by the cartel and making them work, forcing them to making them work in the organized crime. This is sad to say. This is happening in the central parts, in the central parts of our country, in Michoacan, in Guerrero, in Culiacan. These are parts that our government, it is hopefully our president, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo, hopefully that she will do something about it to try to take back the control and try to do something about it. But we are actually now seeing that it's a reality. It is a fact. The National Guard, it is operating and doing an operation of an inspection before just steps away, before the San Ysidro port of entry, which is really something that is moving forward. It's moving the chains forward in terms to working together, in terms to otherwise. And let's be honest, and let's just be completely transparent. If it wasn't for the involvement of Donald Trump saying, hey, we need to do this about it. Hey, we need to designate the cartels as terrorists. Hey, if you don't do something about it to decrease the level of trafficking into the United States of America of fentanyl and illegal migration, I'm going to put a threat of a tariff. And this is the result. Now the National Guardsmen are being deployed. More than 10,000 has arrived being deployed into the north borders of Mexico. The state of Baja California, it is the one that has received more National Guardsmen with intelligence agents from the Fiscal General of the Republic to work together to decrease the level of trafficking into the northern borders inside of the United States of America. This tells you that, they're trying to do something about it. And, it's a start. A lot of the American, I've seen a lot of American audience critiquing our National Guardsmen of Mexico, saying they're corrupt, they're this, they're that. It's a start. And, let's not even talk about corruption, because look at what happened with the Biden administration. The Biden administration, and look at all the things that they're unfolding right now with this USAID and all this money laundering, all this millions and millions of dollars that they were stolen by the American taxpayer. That is a whole corruption. So let's stop pointing the finger at each other, and let's work together and fix the problem. Let's push the Mexican authorities to continue with this. Let's just think about that. This is not going to be something that is going to be like a smoke screen. Let's just, you know, support these people and be on a positive note to say this is going to get fixed. Something is going to be done, and something is being done. So let me just flip the camera real quick before I go. Let me just flip the camera real quick so I can say goodbye to you guys. It's raining. So for people that are watching, it's raining over here. We're trying to do our work for every single one of you to bring you the reality and truth of the news like no other. Real America's Voice News was just live with the great Grant Stinchfield, giving everybody in the United States of America this information about these inspection points. This is actually National Guard doing inspections on the back of the car. You see another National Guard official doing inspections over here in the back of the car. Now, one of the things that is interesting is they're actually directing traffic, and this is one of the things that I like. They're directing traffic in international territory, which I believe that is extremely smart because a lot of the complaints from the Mexican nationals and a lot of people do not understand the majority of these vehicles are U.S. citizens. All of the people that are crossing consistently into the United States of America, they're residents and they're U.S. citizens. And for people to also understand, 87% of the people that they have been detained crossing tons of fentanyl into the United States of America are U.S. citizens. So there is a huge problem of a demand inside of the United States of America. It's a huge problem of addiction and a huge problem of distribution inside of the United States of America. It is a reality. We need to understand that, but also we need to understand that cartels need to be labeled as terrorists. They need to be eradicated and eliminated, and something needs to be done. And this is a step to just doing something about it. This is a step to just doing something about it. So let me just flip the camera right here. And I would like to say, where was Joe Biden doing this? For people that are Democrats, I would like to ask you this. For the Democrats and the liberals and the progressive liberals, did Joe Biden did something like this? Help us, the Mexican people, or to help the migrants to stop dying and migrants to stop being trafficked by the cartel? That Joe Biden did something immediate like this to try to fix the problem? I'm just asking a normal, just simple and transparent question for people that they live in the United States of America. Do you think Kamala Harris would have done something like this immediately? Do you think Kamala Harris would have pushed the Mexican government to put inspection points to decrease the level of trafficking of fentanyl? Because I just got to say something. The actual genocide inside of the United States of America, it is people dying of addiction of fentanyl. More than 107,000 Americans have died of addiction to fentanyl. That is a big genocide. And that is that's a big word that I'm using, but I'm categorizing that because you have 107,000 Americans dying per year of addiction to fentanyl because of the demand of this addiction. Now, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing, but this is a normal average, normal simple question that I would like to ask. If Kamala Harris would have been president, do you think that this would be happening right here? Pushing the Mexican government and the National Guard to just create an inspection point before going to the International Vehicle Port of Entry into the United States of America. This is a huge win. It's a huge win for the Mexican people. It's a huge win for the border towns like San Diego, California. It's a huge win for Tijuana. Let's see if the violence starts decreasing. Now, it's a fact, when Donald Trump was president between 2016 and 2020, this actually happened. The threat of a tariff happened with 5% to automobile industry, avocado, and beer. What happened? The level of violence started decreasing, and also more than 15,000 National Guardsmen were deployed into the south and into the north borders of Mexico. Level of violence, caravans started decreasing and being dismantled. Now we are seeing that immediately more than 10,000 were deployed to the north borders, and now absolutely the whole goal and the whole purpose is to decrease and to basically, tackle the organized crime of the cartel, to decrease the level of trafficking of fentanyl into the United States of America. Amazing for people to watch, for people to understand. It is a reality. It is continuous. The inspection point, it is still here. And ultimately, it is going to continue to be here. Thank you so much. Give it a like to this video. Share the video, like the video, share the video, like the video for people that are watching. Thank you so much for joining in. Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. Go and watch Real America's Voice News. Follow our page, follow our network for people that are actually joining in. Download the app. It is free. I was just live with the great Grant Stinchfield in Real America's Voice News. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, God's plan, it is our mission.